Welcome to the Kinda Krunchy podcast, where we talk about all things health and wellness. We can't wait for you to hear today's episode, so let's get to it.
Hello, people. Welcome to Kinda Krunchy. Just Jensen here today. So you got a solo episode with me. I know you're all so excited. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm using an old laptop. You probably can see it if you're watching on YouTube. It's my college one, and there's a lot of stickers on there. I don't know if anyone else, when they were in college, maybe you still have them. I don't know. Stickers were the thing. So my laptop's covered in stickers. It's really old. I'm locked out of my own login, so I'm on some guest login, and this is also not our usual microphone. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully you can hear me and see me right now. If you can't, that's really sad. But anyways, I'm already tired of talking, and oh my gosh, I have a whole episode. Rachel made it look so easy. Her solo episode was a few weeks ago. If you haven't listened to it, you should. It was great. Rachel is definitely more of the talker, and she would admit it. So we're just gonna roll up today. I have some lemon ginger tea. I'm gonna talk about things I'm loving, and lemon ginger tea is one of them. Well, just ginger tea, but then I found this lemon ginger tea, and it's a game changer. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm really tired. I'm tired. I'm just gonna be real how life's going. I'm gonna give you all my life updates. I'm gonna tell you just things I'm loving health-wise, things I'm just loving, things I'm really hating. Hate's a strong word, but things I'm not vibing with. And then I'm gonna answer, actually I might start with this. I'm gonna answer all of the questions that you guys anonymously asked on that box on Instagram. So you guys asked some riveting questions. So I'm going to answer them. Also, Bentley is here with me today. He is currently sleeping on the floor. So if he barks, we're just going to go with it. We're just going to let him do his thing. The Amish comes with the school bus. He just, loses it. But let's see. My life update is, it's been a long week. I live in Mannheim, and something in Mannheim, it's called the Mannheim Farm Show. If you're from Lancaster, Mannheim, you're like, duh, Jensen, we know what you're talking about. But if you're not, you're like, what is the Mannheim Farm Show? I'm from Punxsutawney, and I would equate what Groundhog Day is to Punxsutawney as what the Mannheim Farm Show is to Mannheim. Like, the kids get off school. It's like the big thing that everyone comes to. And our church has one of the most popular stands, I would say the most popular stand there, the milkshake stand. So they make over 15,000 milkshakes in a week, which is insane. So I volunteered there. Logan and I both did on Wednesday, which was 2 days ago. And we did the shift before the parade. So there's the farm show parade. If you're not from Mannheim, you don't know, but if you are, it's a big deal. Everyone's there. So a lot of people like to get food before, then head over to the parade. We're stupid. I don't know why we always sign up for this shift. It's literally the most exhausting shift. But yeah, so that's the shift we work from 4 to 7. And you do not stop making milkshakes. We made hundreds. My hand was numb because Logan was the mixer who was making a complete mess too. My outfit was just covered in milkshake. And then I was the pours. He'd mix it and then set it down to me, and I would pour it into the cup, and I would put the lid on it, and then they'd serve it. But the cup is a metal cup with ice cream in it, so it's freezing. So by the time my hand's stuck in this cold position. So that really took it out of me. And that day was a very long day. I had a lot going on that week. I was teaching a lot of Pure Barre. Logan was away at the beginning of the week. It was just a hectic week. And that Wednesday of the farm show, I was going home for lunch, and that was my only time to really breathe all day. It was just a crazy day. So I come home, I make lunch, some really good avocado toast. I'm just, living my best life during this lunch hour. And then I just look outside at our beautiful view, which I'm currently staring at now. It's a gorgeous day. But I look outside and I'm like, Oh my goodness, those are our chickens, not in their coop. I see, I don't think all 10 were out. I think 8 of them, 8 of the 10 were just roaming our yard. First off, when did they get out? Second of all, like, okay, great, now I'm gonna have to go catch these chickens on my one time to relax. A part of our coop has been broken, and I told Logan it needs fixed. And it was just hanging on by a thread, but it wasn't like completely broken, so it was like not a priority, but now it's a priority. So I called Logan. I'm like, Logan, the chickens escaped. He was like going into a meeting at work. Not that he could have done anything anyways. That was kind of funny. I mean, it was kind of funny, but anyways, so I go down to the coop, and most of them I'm able to just like pick up and put back in the coop. Like it was fine. Like I was like, okay, this is okay. I'm gonna survive. And then there were 2 of them. They don't have names. There's 2 are like really spazzy, and if you get near them, they like freak out. And it's not like they were running away from the coop. They were like going in circles around the coop. And okay, I'm a long distance runner. I got endurance. Quickness? No, I've never been quick. Ask any of my coaches. I was the last in sprints. Like not fast, not quick. Hope our children get that from Logan. He's faster and quicker than me. I'm not. So me trying to grab these chickens, I was getting so angry. I kept saying like, I'm just gonna leave you out here. Foxes can eat you. I was sweating. Again, this was my relaxing part of the day. Anyways, 5 to 10 minutes later, I finally caught the last 2. There's Bentley, told you. So I caught the last 2. I put some makeshift thing to keep the coop closed. It's still fine right now, so yeah, all's fine. But that was my week. Some other recent things in my life. I had spoken at our youth group. I kind of shared my testimony, and the topic was on, how can God use the messy and the hard things in our lives. I'm actually going to be sharing on the podcast what that is soon. So going to keep you on the edge of your seat. If you know me, you might know this, but I will be sharing about this soon. So stay tuned for that. Also, I want to give a shout out to my cousin Alexis. She got engaged yesterday. So we have a family wedding coming up, which is exciting. There's not many weddings within our family. There's not a lot of cousins. So mine was like the last one. So then this one will be another big one. So I know, Alexis, you listen. Congratulations. Your ring is beautiful. You're beautiful. And I'm so excited for you to just soak in all the moments of the fiance season and then soon wife season, which is the best. Marriage is such a gift. So I'm so excited for you. But those are my life updates. Rachel's traveling right now. Rachel has been in Kenya all week. Clearly she's not here. She's on the other side of the world. And I know she's like traveling through London and New York. So she's just all over the place. So we'll be back together soon. But today is just me. And if you hear noise right now, it's Bentley drinking his water. And I feel like he's going to throw it up because he's drinking it really fast. So I'll let you know if he does. That would be great. But anyways, I'm going to get into my question box. First, I'm going to take a sip of tea because this talking is a lot. Also, isn't this clear mug? If you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. Logan got me this beautiful clear mug for Christmas, and it's really just a vibe. Good job, Logan. Okay, so here was the first question. Tell us about your life background and professional experience and workplace tips if you have any. Well, life background, that's a loaded question. But I'll give you the rundown. So, I'm an only child. Have 2 loving parents, Brad and Leslie, if you know them. They're the best. Was born in Punxsutawney. If you're new, you might not know that, but if you're not new, you probably do know that. I was born in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, the weather capital of the world, Groundhog Day. Very proud of my hometown. I was a pretty goody two-shoes kid. Didn't really get in trouble much. I played sports growing up, basketball and softball. Kind of consumed my life. I played travel softball, travel basketball. Love that. Would go back to that if I could. School, I was straight A student, like had to get 100% on everything, was kind of crazy about studying. Wish I wasn't like that, but can't change the past. I had a cat growing up. His name was Scooby. He wasn't the nicest, but I loved him. He was like my only sibling. He lived till 17. It's a lot. Um, what else about my life? Oh, growing up, I guess, so this kind of goes into professional experience. I worked as a bartender for one summer at our country club, and then I worked at our pro shop at the golf course, which was fun. That was a fun job. Um, but then, yeah, so graduated from Punxsutawney High School in 2015, and then I went off to the University of Pittsburgh, where, of course, I met my wonderful husband, Logan. Um, I studied marketing and HR while I was there. I was really involved with a lot of things. I was in a business fraternity, a sorority. I studied abroad in Italy for 4 months. Just really took advantage of living in Pittsburgh. I feel like I was all over the city. My best friend Kirsten and I, we ran a few marathons in college, and we would like run and brunch all over the city. Basically, we would go on a long run, and then we'd end at a different brunch spot. So we really just had a good time. I loved college. I'm really grateful. I feel like I've loved all the seasons of my life, even though they've all had their challenges. And I feel like it's good to be able to see the good in each season, because I look back and I'm like, wow, I loved high school. I love college. I'm loving married life, so can't complain. So within college, I had a few internships. I worked at the National Kidney Foundation for a summer, doing some marketing. And then my big internship was I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods. They have an amazing internship program in their merchandising, and I got to work in like women's Adidas apparel. So cool. And it was just like the most fun summer, because it was like all young college kids. Some weren't from Pittsburgh, so just it was a lot of fun. And their headquarters is beautiful. I ended up working there after college, got a full-time job offer, worked there after college for about 2 years until I got married, and then moved out to Lancaster. I also had some fun jobs. I was a front desk at Pure Bar in Pittsburgh, and now I'm a teacher in Lancaster, which is cool to make that little transition. And I worked at Clean Juice in Pittsburgh. Clean Juice is like a smoothie brand. It's actually Christian. So like my shirt said like everyone on Jesus and Juice. It was so cute. But it was just like the best organic smoothies and acai bowls. And I loved working there. I worked there just like as a job from like I graduated in April and didn't start till September. Highly recommend. If you ever have that opportunity where you get a job offer in college and they say, do you want to start in June or September? Start in September. Get a fun job over the summer. Travel. Like once you start working, you're going to be working full-time forever. So I recommend that. But yeah. What else? I think that's it for like work experience. And now my full-time job, I work as a marketing coordinator at Powertrain Sports and Fitness from Lancaster area. Well, there's like 12 locations, so it's kind of all over, but it's a great personal training gym. I work out there twice a week. Feel stronger than I ever have before. I also work out at Pure Bar too. It's so nice. I feel like Pure Bar and strength training are like my two favorite things right now, and I get to work out at both of them for free, which is a huge perk, and I'm very, very grateful. Workplace tips. Okay, I wrote down a few things. This is like the Christian mindset, but I always say like work for the Lord. You might not have a great boss. I have a great boss, but if you don't, or like you're just feel like your work isn't meaningful, like know that like you're working for the Lord in all that you do, and always give it 100%, work at a level of excellence, because we're not working for a pat on the back from man. Everything we do is for the Lord. Also, a positive attitude is contagious. I've been at jobs where people are negative all the time, and it really just is draining. So you get to decide if you're going to be a light when you walk in or darkness when you walk into work. So just be a light, have a positive attitude, over communicate. If you think you told someone something, just really like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of like issues in the workplace come up when there was like a lack of communication. So just over communicate, be proactive. Oh no, is my computer updating? What is this? Okay, we're still recording. Good. Be the type of person you'd want to work with. Like if you're thinking about who would I want to work with, be that type of person. I strive to be like Rachel. Rachel works so hard and is so organized. I try to like channel my inner Rachel when I'm like working. She's just so on top of things. And last tip, this is very like specific, but organize your emails and calendars and color code them and put them in folders. It will change your life. Trust me, you can do it. Okay, sorry, that was a long answer for the first question. They won't all be this long. What are your go-to foods on your period? Oh, great question. So as Rachel had stated, your period is like your inner winter. So it's like the cozy, you just want to be in your sweatpants on the couch, like your body is saying rest. I'm always sipping on raspberry leaf tea. It is great for menstrual cramps. I know a lot of women drink it like when they're about to go into labor. Like it's really good. I should know the research on this, but I think it like relaxes like your uterus. I might be making that up, but it does something down there. So that really helps. Just like any like warm, cozy foods, red meat because you're being depleted of iron, along with I try to focus on eating some bananas. Those are good for cramps, spinach, dark chocolate, but really just like whole foods. Like this is the time where your like body is lacking nutrients. I maybe up my adrenal cocktails, my mineral dropper, just to like make sure that like my body is being nourished in the way it should be. I need to take a sip of tea. That wasn't English, sorry. Okay, favorite deodorant. I use the Wellness Mineral Deodorant. I will link it. I said this before, I don't wear a lot of deodorant. I'm not a big sweater. It's just who I am, but that's the type that I've liked and it hasn't irritated me and it's really natural. How often should you shower? It's an interesting question. I wrote down, haha. It depends. I feel like there's a lot of factors. Are you a big sweater? Is it like summer? Are you working out? Or are you just like there's so many factors. I mean, I would say like every other day, but like a lot of people shower every day. Then there's the whole washing your hair thing. I try not to do that every day or even every other day. Sorry, that's not a great answer, but I feel like it just depends. Like if you stink, shower more. If you don't stink, you're probably fine. That's my opinion. What was your least favorite college class and why? I wonder if this person's in college or going into college. Okay, worst class ever, business calculus. Pro of it was that I did meet my roommate, Claire, who I love and I miss, and she was an amazing roommate that I would never have met if it wasn't for dreadful business calculus. I had this teacher. Her name was Kathy Dwayne Leonard. I will never forget her. She was Australian, I think, and she wore Crocs every day. I'll never forget that. But then we had like a recitation one day a week. And my teacher, and you would have all these quizzes that were worth a lot of points that I would always end up like freaking out, panicking about, missing points on them. It was so stressful, and he spoke zero English. Like you could not communicate with him. And I'm trying to learn like the hardest thing ever. So business calculus. I remember when I took that final, I was the happiest human in the world. That was my like last final during my like freshman year, like first semester finals week, and my parents came to pick me up for Christmas, and I just was like the most relieved person ever. Then college was like up from that, but that was terrible. Who do you look up to? There's a few people. My parents, they raised me to be the woman that I am, and I feel like most people look up to their parents, or I'm just really grateful that I look up to my parents. All my mom friends, I hope to be a mom someday, and just watching them, how they handle babies and children, they just do such a good job, and I'm so proud of them, and I aspire to be like them one day. And then my good friend Abby Grace, she was definitely my like mentor in college, and now she's just the sweetest friend, but she's walked through a lot of things, and just seeing how she's handled them and really given them to the Lord, and has been very a faithful, strong woman of faith. I definitely look up to her. Okay, this one is from Emma Adair. Hi, Emma. I'll make sure I send this episode to you, but you're probably listening anyways. Well, first off, her and I are getting bagels tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. I told you guys about that bagel place near us that's so good. But anyways, Emma's question, I love that she actually signed her name. Tell us about your proposal story in detail. Okay, I'm going to need to take a sip here. If you know my proposal story, you can just fast forward about 5 minutes. Or you might want to hear it again. If you don't, buckle up. So Logan, my husband, is a romantic. He goes above and beyond. He's extra. If you know him, you're nodding your head. Yep, that's Logan. And I adore him for it. So let's set the scene. I thought I was going to get engaged this weekend. I just didn't know how it was going to look, but I just had that feeling. And I even wrote a note in my phone that was like, I think I'm going to get engaged this weekend just in case I did. And I did. But I didn't know any idea how. We had already looked at rings, and we had talked about like around the holidays, and this was September 26th. I was going to Pittsburgh that weekend, so I was like, oh, maybe he'll be in Pittsburgh, maybe I'm just wrong. So the plan was I was going boating with my best friend Kirsten and her friends. There was a whole group chat, which apparently was just a lie, but there was a whole group chat, like, so excited to go boating, it's gonna be so fun. So anyways, I get out there Friday night, wake up Saturday morning to my period, of course. Actually was getting coffee with Abby Grace that morning, and she knew the whole time, but I don't know how she didn't say anything. Anyways, after that, I went over to Kirsten's house, and we're just like getting ready. And then we're driving in the car to the marina. And she's like, oh, I have to go pick up my one friend near Pitt's campus. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we like park in front of one of like the buildings there. And she has her camera with her, and like she has like smile on her face, and I'm like, we're not boating today, are we? And she says, no, we're not. So there were 3 spots in Pittsburgh that Logan had people place white roses in notes. The first was the University of Pittsburgh in front of the Cathedral of Learning. That's the school we met, where we fell in love. No, we didn't fall in love there. He wanted to date me there, and I didn't. But that's where we met, and then rekindled our friendship senior year. So there was a rose and a note there. Then the next note was in front of PNC Park, that's where our first date was. I didn't think it was a date. He thought it was. Freshman year, whole thing. But there was a funny little note written there. And then the next one was at the church we went to. It was called Amplify in Pittsburgh. We really connected their senior year. We would go to church together sometimes, and it was just a really special place to see each other, like seeking the Lord. And then the last one was at Point State Park, which was the spot where we had prayed together for the first time, which was super special. That one's funny. So Logan's one friend, Alex, apparently was running behind. I don't think he was running behind, actually. We were running ahead of schedule, and he didn't have the rose there yet. So apparently he was like sprinting across like downtown Pittsburgh with this rose to get it there. And it was like in this vase, which we still have the vase. So funny though. I just heard that he was like sweating, and like people were staring at him, but he did what he needed to do. We got there in plenty of time. And that note said, basically I forget what it said exactly, but it was like, drive to Mannheim. I'll be waiting there for you. Which at first I was like, I was just so happy and giddy because I was getting a ring that day, and it was going to be the best day. But looking back on it, I was like, Logan, you made me drive 4 hours. 4 hours knowing that I was going to be engaged. Like, that's a long time. But luckily, Kirsten was coming with me, and super intentional Logan actually had crafted a CD, a playlist of all these songs, and then he'd written down why they meant something to us. It was so sweet. The one song, I won't forget this one. The one song was Party Girl. It's not a PG song, but we just would joke about that song because basically that song is describing who I was when I was 18 when Logan and I met. That was BC Jensen, not who she is now. But yeah, when I heard that song, I was cracking up. So anyways, drive back to Mannheim. I arrive at our house and I looked at Kirsten. I was like, am I wearing this to get engaged? And she's like, no. I was like, okay. So I walk in our house, candles everywhere. I'm going to link some photos of this when I post this episode because I'm sure you're dying to see. I'll link photos. Candles, rose petals, a big bouquet of roses is on the island, literally that I'm recording on right now. And then this beautiful white jumpsuit. Loved it. It was from Abercrombie. So cute. Logan had bought it for me. I never was like, hey, this looks cute. Like, he just bought it for me. So good job, Logan. And so I got changed, fixing up my makeup and hair. Also on my period, white outfit, first day, cramps, heaviness. I was a little nervous, but the Lord provided. We had no issues. So then Kirsten and I drove to his uncle's pond. And when we got there, he was on the dock looking so handsome. And again, there was like rose petals, candles, lights. And then I walked to the dock, and then nobody really knows what was said. I wish he would have recorded it in his pocket with his phone. If you're a guy out there listening or a girl, like, you should tell your man to do that, or vice versa, because you literally black out because it's just the craziest moment of your life. But I remember what he said was it was so perfect. I mean, he could have said anything. I was going to say yes, but what he said was beautiful. Obviously, I said yes. He put the ring on my finger, embraced each other, and then our whole family was there. So his family and his sister actually flew in from Colorado. My family, a lot of our best friends were there. It was so special. And then we went back to our house and had a little party. Yeah, it was a whirlwind of a day. So that was my proposal story. Logan doing the most, but love that. Love telling that story. We'll never forget that day. Okay, this one's actually health related. What's your ideal morning routine? How have you implemented health-friendly things into it in recent years? So ideal. This is my ideal routine, and I'm gonna be real with you. This is not what it looks like. Ideally, I'd wake up, I'd go do some grounding, I'd get some morning sunlight, I'd work out when it's light out, kind of following the circadian rhythm. I'd shower, or I'd dry brush, I'd shower, have some Jesus time, make a really real breakfast, and then start like my work day at like 9:30. That's ideal scenario. Most mornings I either work out at 5 or 6 a.m. or I teach Pure Barre at 6 a.m. So I'm up really early before the sun's up. And then I come home and I eat a quick breakfast. I always eat a good breakfast. And then I have my coffee, of course, coffee after breakfast. And I'll get some sunlight when I take Bentley out to the bathroom. Sometimes I'll ground. But then I start work around 8. So it's not my favorite morning routine. I wish it was better. Sometimes I was on like a warm, actually I'll probably get back into it. I wasn't over the summer because I didn't really want a warm drink in the morning, but like warm water with lemon and salt first thing when I wake up. Yeah, it's not perfect, but trying to get better at it. Also just know like it's going to look different in different seasons of lives too. So, but the next question was like, how have you implemented health-friendly things into it? I mean, first off, the big thing was like I used to just have coffee right away, which was screwing up my system like crazy. But the thing is, it's just like one thing at a time, just anything. Like maybe this week you add in dry brushing before your shower. Maybe another week you add in like a 10-minute walk in the morning, like little things like that. If you try to add in a bunch of things, you're just going to do really great for 1 week and then just like fail the next week and you're like, I can't do this. But just like work on like habit stacking maybe. Like maybe you want to spend time in prayer in the morning and you want to spend time outside. Like you could literally go outside, ground, talk to Jesus, and get sunlight all at the same time. So like there's different things you can add together. But that'd be my advice. Okay, so we're 30 minutes in right now. I need another sip of tea. I'm really grateful for Rachel that she's able to like talk and I'm able to like take a sip of water. This is kind of hard. Thanks for like sticking along. I hope you're still listening. I'm having fun. Bentley's actually behaving, which is super exciting. Okay. I keep checking to make sure this is still recording because that would be very disappointing. Things I'm loving right now. Okay. I love getting blood work. That sounds crazy, but I'm such a numbers girl. I love knowing that I'm like within certain markers of things. I don't like when I'm not because then I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But I just love the numbers of it. And I don't mind getting blood drawn. Um, Gilmore Girls. This is my first time watching Gilmore Girls. Some of you are like, oh, how have you taken this long to watch it? I don't know. It just never like sparked my interest, and I feel like I've seen a lot of people watching it. And I'm just like, you know what? This is it. I'm gonna just dive into it. And it's like the perfect fall vibe show. And you know what I appreciate? No one's on their phone. I'm so over technology. I guess I want to talk about that things I hate. But it's just so nice. Like they're just really like focused on conversation and it just seems just it's such good vibes. So loving Gilmore Girls, almost done with season 1. And then my last thing I'm loving, I'm not talking about like food and drinks and stuff, but just in general, is being home. I love being home. Like it's just the fall, winter. I just want to be in cozy clothes on our couch, drinking a cup of tea. That's it. I just like being home. And we're gone the next 4 weekends, so it's great. But after that, I think we're going to be home for a bit, so that's how it should be. Okay. Things I'm hating. Insurance. I was talking about blood work. Nothing has gone wrong yet, but it's like I feel like I just never know if insurance covers everything. And then you just sometimes randomly get a bill in the mail. You're like, oh, great. $100, $300, $1,000. Like, how was I supposed to know? It's not like you go get blood work and they're like, this will be $75. Like, no, it's just like, all right, go back. We'll bill the insurance company. And then it's like, you just pray that you don't get like a scary bill in the mail. So that's something I don't like. Second thing, this is just something, I feel like everyone has that chore that they hate. For me, it's laundry. And the issue is I have a lot of clothes. So when I'm putting clothes away, it's just really crowded. And I just went through all my clothes and I'm just a hoarder. Okay, not a hoarder, but I have issues getting rid of clothes. I need someone to come here and just be like, Jensen, have you worn that recently? No. Is that sentimental value? No. And then they should just get rid of it. So I'm trying to be better about that. But then laundry's not my jam. If you like laundry, good for you. But if I had a maid or if I had one task that I could just like not do, that would be it. I don't even have kids yet. I can't even imagine. You're probably like, oh my gosh, Jensen, it's literally just you and Logan. How are you complaining? Well, you're probably right. Also, this is just really funny. If you're watching on YouTube, the camera is propped up on top of a jar of sourdough starter and then leaning against my Stanley. Rachel has the tripod, so we're rolling with it. Okay, here's some food items that I'm just into right now. Sweet potato fries. I love homemade sweet potato fries, and you can buy them pre-cut, which is really nice. They're actually not that expensive, not even like in a bag, like literally like the store chopped up potatoes and they're just in like fry forms. There's literally nothing on them. And then I just put some like salt and pepper, garlic. But I found this mayo. I'm not even a big mayo girl, but it's garlic mayo and it's by Chosen Foods. Chosen Foods, they use avocado oil instead of seed oils. I know you can make your own mayo, but this was just like on sale and I was like, oh, I'll try that. Sweet potato fries with garlic mayo is my jam right now. So good. I've also just been very simple. I've been really making lots of breads and just like a piece of homemade bread or homemade sourdough bread with some eggs from our chickens. Like it just tastes so fresh, so good. It's been like my go-to lunch. I've been very simple. I'm a very simple girl with food. And I can eat the same thing over and over again for lunch. That's where Logan and I differ. I made chili last week and I'm still eating it every day. I think it's maybe because I make the food and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna have like 3 different meals to choose from. That's so much work and money. I'm just like, yeah, I make one meal and it lasts. So, but he's a variety guy. He doesn't like to have the same thing over and over again, which is okay. We're allowed to be different. If we were the same, that wouldn't be good. And then, this is not crunchy at all. Have you ever had those butterscotch candies? Like they sometimes have them in like jars on like, like if you're in a lobby of a hotel, they might have them, or like feel like something would be in like your grandma's purse or something. I've just been like obsessed with them and I bought a really big bag, which is really dumb of me. Why would I buy that? There's probably every terrible thing in it, but it's just fun to like suck on them sometimes. So if you look at my purse right now, there's like probably 3 butterscotch candies. Maybe I'm becoming a grandma, but you know what? That's fine. It brings me joy throughout the day. So you know what? It is what it is. Oh, and then like I said, chili. Loving chili right now. Throwing liver in it, getting Logan his daily dose of liver. It's perfect. And it's just warm and it's cozy and there's lots of protein in it. Loving chili, loving soup season. It's time. We're here. I think this episode's gonna air in November. It's mid-October now, so we're there. Okay, drinks of choice. Well, ginger tea, really good for upset tummies, which I get sometimes. My stomach's kind of weird sometimes. I don't really know. But ginger tea, actually, I've just really enjoyed the taste of it. But then on the coffee side of things, we all know I'm always going to choose coffee over tea. Always. Pumpkin dirty chai lattes. Love dirty chais. Add some pumpkin to it. So good. I'm meeting a friend for coffee this afternoon, and I'm probably going to get that. Vanilla lattes too. When I'm not sure what to get, they never, ever steer me wrong. And then I feel like I've been doing a really good job. Logan, you're going to be proud. I've been making lattes at home, saving money. And they're also better for you because I'm using like raw milk and real maple syrup, and organic vanilla, and saving a lot of money because I don't know if you know this, but lattes are so expensive. So expensive. I feel like they used to be like $3. Now they're like $7. And I'm like, this is like what I could get a meal for. But I've been doing a better job of making them at home, and they're actually pretty good. They're not the same. They're never going to be the same as a coffee shop, or I just haven't mastered it yet. I have an espresso machine, which I'm very grateful for and I love. In my dream world, I would love a Breville. You know you've seen them. You know you want one. They're like over $1,000. And I think I could justify it if Logan drank coffee. It would still be a lot. But I think I could be like, okay, well, like, Logan will drink it too, and then we for sure won't go out and buy coffee. But who am I kidding? I'm always going to still go to coffee shops, so it probably wouldn't be worth it. But they do look like they make the best lattes, and a few of my friends have them, and they just rave about them, and I'm a little jelly, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We can't have it all. Okay, what do I have next? So, just some things that I want to talk about. You might have seen this, or I don't know if I've shared this actually, and if I have, I'm sorry. But I'm really into Tootsie Pops, not Krunchy, far the same from Krunchy, but I have one almost every day, and it's like my little afternoon pick-me-up. I'm just being real. This is definitely the 20 of the 80-20. But it's just my little piece of joy in the afternoon. Maybe I should find something better. I've had organic lollipops, but you know what? I'm in a Tootsie Pop kick right now, and you know what? We're just gonna ride the wave. Shoes. Not that this is important, but I was at DSW recently, which is a terrible place to go to because then I literally want all new shoes. Reebok is back. Reebok sneakers are in. I need a pair. I want a pair. Also Steve Madden has really cool sneakers too. I love like big chunky sneakers. I like chunky shoes in general, like combat boots. Logan doesn't like them. He would like more of a simple shoe where I'm like, I want to make a statement. But yeah, Reebok Steve Madden sneakers, they're in. Go look them up. They're awesome. So we're finishing up our wedding extravaganza. You know, if you follow me on Be Real, if you just look at my Instagram, we're always at a wedding. 11 this year. ate the year before, ate the year before. Next year we have very few. Obviously, when I have my cousin Alexis, I'm assuming you're getting married next year. Let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, so we don't have many next year, which is great. But we have one more to go. It's next weekend. My cousin Ty, it's in Virginia. It's actually in Richmond. Never been before, so it's gonna be fun to go somewhere new. But I'm borrowing another dress. I've been borrowing dresses all year. That needs to be something we make normal. We all have probably 5 to 10 dresses in our closet, and then we wear them to a wedding and we don't want to wear them again. Like, let's just all swap dresses. I feel like that's what ends up happening when you borrow dresses, but it's like, it's so fun because then like your friend gives you 5 dresses and you're like, oh my gosh, all new clothes. And then you wear it once and you wash it and you give it back to them. So anyone who's loaned me a dress, thank you so much. You guys are all so stylish. I always get so many compliments. Like, where's your dress from? And I'm like, I have stylish friends. What can I say? Also, I've just really been into thrifting and trying to get into it more. And that is also the move with weddings, because one of my dresses I got for a wedding was $4 and it was so cute. It was $4. So one thing that might be happening next year, I'm going to talk about it like it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. Logan and I potentially might be going to Italy. We're looking at flights. We're just trying to weigh out cost. We got a credit card that's like giving us a lot of mileage or like travel points. So we did that strategically last year just in case we would want to. So we'll see. But I just think it would be so special to go back to Florence, where I lived for 4 months, and just be like, Logan, here's where I went to the grocery store, and this was my little apartment, and this was my walk to school. But also just in general, because Italy is the best place on earth. You can tell me I'm wrong, but I'm not. It's the best. And there's so many amazing cities, and just, I feel like every little town is so different and has so much character, it's so unique and so beautiful. And the food and coffee is just unparalleled. It's just so much better, like a million times better. And really, Airbnbs are not expensive over there. The big thing, I always say this, some people think I'm like crazy when I say like it's not that expensive to go to Europe if you get the right flight. If you can get a cheap flight to Europe, it's going to be cheaper than an American vacation most of the time. I mean, it depends where you're going, but I feel like food and Airbnbs are way more affordable over there than they are here. So it's all about just, the big thing is getting over there. The flight's expensive, but if you can find a cheap flight, then you hack the system. Let me look at my list. I think I said everything I want to say. I'm pretty tired right now. Yeah, I think that's it. So hopefully everything worked with this episode and you're seeing it and you're hearing it clearly, because if not, I'm going to be really sad. Bentley, where's you at? Bentley, you did a really good job. You were very well behaved. He only barked once. That's pretty big. There's been some episodes Rachel and I have done where he's just been on another level. So good job, Bentley. Very proud of you. But yeah, thanks for joining this episode of Kinda Crunchy. This is not the normal usually we have. If you're new, if like you're like, oh my gosh, I know Jensen, I'm going to listen to her solo episode and see what this is all about. Normally we have a topic of health related some sort thing. We do have some lighthearted episodes, and then we also have guests, which guests are so good because they're so knowledgeable, and we can only talk so much about things, and we only know so much. So yeah, but this is Kinda Crunchy. Rachel is normally here, and Rachel is just the best co-host, and I love her and adore her, and I'm glad she is able to talk a lot more than I am, because this is a lot. So anyways, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. You click the little button, because a lot of you don't subscribe, but you do watch on YouTube. So make sure you do that. And you can also like this video. You just click the button that's like. Usually most of our video likes come from me. Those are basically all of our likes. So it'd be fun if someone else did, so I don't just look like I'm liking your own videos and that's it. But yeah, I think that's all I have. I hope you guys are having the best Tuesday or whatever day you're listening to this. Go treat yourself to a fun coffee today. If you're looking for an excuse to, this is it. Life's short. It's the little things in life that bring you joy. Love you all so much. See you next week. Rachel will be back next week. I'm sure it'll be a great topic. I don't know what it is yet, but it'll be so fun. And I think this is airing in November, so Christmas and holidays and Thanksgiving is in full swing right now, so I just hope you guys savor this sweet time of the year. It's one of my favorite times. But yeah, that's all I have. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Remember, although we talk all things health and wellness here, this is not medical advice, and you should always seek out your medical professional for further questions. Thanks again for listening. Please remember to share, comment, and subscribe to help support our podcast.